Happy New Year, Lisa!
Happy New Year, Andrew.
It's just gone 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And Doctor Who is finished.
Yes. Until 2020.
Apparently.
Well, new Doctor Who.
So, it was called Resolution.
It was called Resolution. It wasn't called Resolution of the Daleks because there was only one Dalek.
Yes. But we had to wait to the end to find out it was called Resolution.
We did have to wait to the end. We knew it was called Resolution.
Yes, but as you said, no title
No
sequence
title
again.
sequence, no time.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Because that was a full hour, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you make of that then?
Yes, this is somewhat of a different thing for us because we normally watch it twice before we do our videos.
Yes.
But we decided to do an instant video. Excuse me, I have only know.
Oh, I've
You
got
do
enough
need
to
to
say,
know that.
don't worry.
But yeah, that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It resolved Ryan's story
Yeah.
because you got to see his dad, and his dad sort of came good and saved the day, and they're sort of friends again now. Yeah, it was an interesting episode.
Yeah.
I like obviously it's not a redesign of the Dalek because it's just for this one story because the Dalek has to cobble itself together a shell.
Yeah.
But I quite like that. It's reminiscent of those little skinny ones that you get from
Well, hold up what you got.
from the
Go on,
90s.
zoom in on him. Oh, not too much. Get his head in. Hang on.
He's a talking
There
Dalek,
we
but he
go.
doesn't talk anymore.
There he is. That's our palatoy talking one that I'm afraid doesn't talk. But yeah, the sort of cobbled together from bits and pieces
Yes.
Dalek. Interesting that you've now had a sonic screwdriver that was made at the start of the season,
Yes.
and a Dalek that was made at the end of the season.
Yes.
I like that parallel.
Yes, it was very. Yes, it's very reminiscent of that scene where the Doctor makes a sonic screwdriver. Yes.
But I think it's. Do you know what it reminded me of?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
You are. I am. Because you've got the sort of thin, sort of mid-section and
Yes.
top, but a sort of fatter bottom bit. I actually thought of the Daleks that are in the video for Doctor in the TARDIS.
Okay.
Because they're made out of like crates.
Yeah.
With sort of weird tops
Okay.
on them.
I've not seen those for a while.
I'll
so.
get that out and show you
Okay.
later.
Lucky me.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, it is a slightly funny design.
Yeah.
But then that's undercut by the sort of massacre of the soldiers scene,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
So,
Well, it was because a lot of people had remarked that episode 10 wasn't a very big finale for the season.
and you've
And the
had
answer to the question was it wasn't the finale.
You've had most of that in
Yes.
this one.
This is the finale for the season.
Yeah.
This wraps the season up, even though it's a separate episode. This is it.
Because how much do you think it relies on you having seen previous
Not much at all.
episodes? The only reason I say that is that Christmas episodes tend to be very standalone, don't they?
Yeah.
Think of something like Voyage of the Damned,
Yes.
where you, or even The Runaway Bride, where you've got a one-off.
Yeah. One-off story.
Companion even.
Yeah. I don't think you would have needed to see any of the previous story. You get all the information you need as you're going along. You get the information that Ryan's mum's dead, Ryan's nan's dead. You don't need to know why. You just need to know that for the purposes of the story that they're dead.
Because it's interesting the way you're cutting back to Graham having the sort of domestic scenes.
Yes, and they're quite big, talky scenes, but I don't think they slowed the pace down at all.
No.
It gives you a little breather in between the sort of massacring that the Dalek does.
Yeah.
Because there's an awful lot of... It kills an awful lot of people, because that's one thing I did wonder, that because obviously it takes over the archaeologist Lynn, and then again... Ryan's dad. This is spoilers, but you should be watching this if you haven't seen it. And I wonder how you would live with the fact that you've killed people, even though it wasn't you doing it.
Yeah.
You've still done it with your hands. So, but that's obviously not something you have time to go into in an hour-long episode.
I was really appreciative of the fact that I got a feeling that something new was being done with the Daleks.
Yes.
Or rather with a
Dalek.
Dalek.
Yeah.
Because the whole... because most of the first half of the episode, it's sort of loose and sort of on the back in the like Planet of the Spiders or something like that.
Yeah.
and the fact that it's a bigger creature,
Yes.
as well. It's not the sort of the smaller ones we've seen in New Doctor Who up to this point. It is actually redesigned in itself.
Yes.
And I think it makes it more, because when it's stuck on the wall, that's the thing. It's you're not quite sure, because we assumed it was a Dalek.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes. And
but it is sufficiently different.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you're a bit wrong-footed.
Yes.
Even you think, well, is it, or is that? Or
Well, then, and because the Doctor said it's a reconnaissance Dalek, so
Yeah.
obviously the creatures that they put in reconnaissance Daleks are bigger,
yeah.
so they can do more things, I guess, and for the purposes of the story. of
But
course.
this is what I want, from a new era of Doctor Who to to make things up, to
Yes.
invent stuff.
Yeah.
And this is what we should be doing. We shouldn't be sort of saddled to what we did 5 years ago.
No.
We should move forward and come up with new ideas. And I really liked the whole possessed human thing.
Yes, it gives it a whole new element, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So the feeling that one Dalek is extremely dangerous
Yes,
as well.
one Dalek. Well, as it has said before, one Dalek is more than enough to kill
Yeah.
all those Cybermen.
Because is it Dalek Master Plan? One Dalek is capable of exterminating all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is really sort of
And
pushed to the fore.
It
here, I
does
think.
show the power of it, as you said, with the soldiers.
Yeah.
Just in that scene, in very few ways, actually. Just it's quite sparingly done.
Yeah.
You don't need to see. I mean, you do see quite a lot of people being exterminated, but
And the first extermination, it went on for longer as well.
Yes.
It was just a few, 3 or 4 more seconds in the edit
Yeah.
than previous ones have been.
Yeah.
So it really felt like it hurt.
well,
You know.
I'm sure it does hurt.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the fact that it went on longer, you're thinking,
Yeah.
no, stop now.
Yeah.
So that's
But do you think that's because it's a loose gun?
yeah, I don't know.
The
Yes.
power's more.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms
contained.
of an editing
Yes.
decision.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So again, it's not quite what we used to.
No, but then you should change things.
Yeah. So yeah, but I certainly want to see that one again.
Yes.
And obviously we'll do it on. Will you get a survey for that one? Do you know or not?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't checked.
Okay,
Yet.
you might already have
So,
it.
yes, yeah.
So you've got to think about what you're gonna
I
put,
guess so.
aren't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, and again, the microwave oven even refers back to episode 1, because the Doctor's at the end of episode 1 when the Doctor's cobbled together.
Oh yeah, she's got a microwave oven, hasn't she?
That thing.
Yeah.
So I like the way all this sort of
Links
all
in.
these scenes
Yeah.
link back
I
to
hadn't
the
thought of that.
first episode.
Because
yeah.
initially, when you see the microwave oven, because Ryan's dad's trying to flog it to the guy in the cafe, and you think, oh, he's just a dodgy salt. That's what I think you're supposed to think.
Yeah.
That he's not any good to Ryan or anybody else because he's a bit sort of dodgy, but he's not. He's more than that, and it's there again for the purposes of the story.
And let's talk about Jodie sort of facing off against the
Yes.
Dalek as well.
Yes.
Not taking any nonsense, I think, is
No.
is fair
No.
to say, isn't it?
No, and she didn't do the sort of. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. God, I can't speak this evening. But there's no grandstanding against the Dalek. There's no I'm the oncoming storm and all this sort of thing. I mean, the Dalek does do a little double take when she says she's the Doctor. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
But do you think it's true? I don't know how true it is for that you really. Does the actor sometimes find their Doctor when they have to face off against the Daleks?
Possibly.
Because let's think about Chris Eccleston.
Yeah.
In Dalek, suddenly all the silliness drops away, doesn't it? And I remember, was it Rob Shearman said he was surprised at the way Chris acted those scenes because he'd written them to be slightly flippant, and
Suddenly all the anger came out.
and Chris totally did it differently to how he was expecting. I think.
Yeah, because didn't he lose his voice because he shouted so many times?
Oh, I can't
Because
remember.
they had to keep doing it, and every time
Yeah.
he did it, he shouted.
But I think wasn't it Nick Briggs said he was a bit sort of taken aback in rehearsal. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, some of the rehearsal stuff for this. You know,
I mean, I don't think it's that noticeable from the way she's stood up against other people like Tim Shaw and things like that. But there is a bit more steel there, I think, because it's the Daleks. You've got to have that sort of inner.
Because I'm also thinking about Sylvester as well.
Yes.
That because Remembrance comes at the start of seaon 25, and there's already been a conscious decision to change the way he's playing the Doctor. Yeah. I just you know, because you know we've had 10 episodes now, and inevitably you play yourself into playing the Doctor, because you know, for the first couple of episodes you are sort of flying by the seat of your pants. I think it's true, because again, you know, we've got season 19 on Blu-ray,
and we've been
and if you watch season 19 in production order, so Four to Doomsday is first and Castrovalva is fourth, you can see Peter Davison sort of playing himself into the Doctor, and I wonder whether sort of Jodie has felt the same thing or not. Because again, I'm not entirely sure what the production order is on this season, because I know some stories have got swapped around, so I'd need to go and find out what that order is to see. But that thing at the end, the Doctor will return. I did wonder whether we were going to get an episode title or not, but clearly not.
I don't think Chris has actually probably thought of it yet. I mean, he's only just letting some little clues out about what the next series might contain, and so far it's more of a focus on Yaz's character and more on monsters.
Okay.
So that's the thing, you see. I can see him not wanting to use old monsters in his first series. Yeah. But he's done his first series, he's used the Daleks, so now he probably feels free that he can use other old monsters.
But again, if we have this sort of a different take on the Daleks, I'm quite on board for different takes on old monsters. And it's that thing that when you take over a show, you always have your own. You tend to fall back on how you imagined it as a kid, I think, isn't it? Yeah. So, again, wondering what Chris's influences, what stories sort of influenced him. You know, are we talking Genesis of the Daleks here with, you know, the Doctor with the Dalek actually on him?
Yes.
You know, the sort of Dalek mutants in the cliffhanger at the end of part 5. I just wonder if that's an image that stuck with him,
quite possibly,
and maybe is it even a subconscious thing? I don't know. So it's just interesting to try and work out where these ideas come from. And so if we get some new takes on old monsters, can you trace it back to an image or something in his childhood? So very much looking forward to working out, because it's a little jigsaw puzzle.
It is.
You're often not even aware that you do it until, but you know, that's what I thought. That's what I thought of. You know, because you know, everybody's seen Genesis of the Daleks in fandom umpty 3 times. But when you see it, if you're young, there's probably certain images that stick in your head,
and that would be one of them.
And that might well be one.
Because it's a very powerful image.
I just wonder if he had a nightmare about a Dalek on his back or something
possibly.
like that. You say something like that.
Well, as you say, it's a cross between that and the spiders from Planet of the Spiders.
So if we ever interview Chris, I'll ask him that and see what he's got to say.
Okay.
Chris is very welcome on the sofa. We'll have to budge up. He'll have to sit where Warren sits.
Yes, I mean, he'll have to sit in the middle again.
Yeah. But overall, how would you want to score that?
I think I'd score that an 8 out of 10.
Okay, good, solid.
Solid story.
And I think a good one for new viewers again.
Yes.
So, there are going to be people watching that haven't seen
the
series.
And they might having watched that, they might think, I want to go back and watch the series.
Because it's still going to be on iPlayer.
It'll be on iPlayer for a while, I would imagine,
Okay.
Yes. And I hope they do, because, you know, the more people that watch it and discover it and realise what a great series it is, the better.
Indeed.
Really.
Right, well, I think that's it for, Jodie's Doctor for the moment. But as you said, we are planning to do some old stories through
we're going to use the gap here as a chance to revisit each Doctor.
Yeah.
So we're going to be starting this weekend.
Yeah.
With episode 1.
Yeah.
Of the War Machines.
Okay. That's the plan, isn't it?
That's the plan. And also Doctor on Twitch is restarting on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to sort of try and apply the Round the Archives approach to these old stories.
So, although we'll be talking about the episodes,
yeah,
we'll also be talking about other things that are on at the same time as these episodes,
yeah,
people that star in these episodes.
Yeah.
You have been warned.
Yeah, certainly the War Machines gives me something to get my teeth into.
Just got to find it.
Which generally isn't talked about very much. In fact, in Doctor Who fandom,
Yeah.
I don't know about other fandoms, but there's certainly things in there that we can sort of go on about.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yeah, we haven't quite decided where we're going to go after the War Machines, but we should certainly be starting with the War Machines.
Okay. All right. We'll say ta-ra then. See you.
And also, we'll do a roundup for the season.
Oh yeah, we'll do a season roundup as well. Yeah,
once we've actually sorted about the season as a whole.
Okay.
So it might not be for a little while yet.
Okay. Well, we'll say bye-bye.
Yes, okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.